To repeat, we are talking about the journey to happiness. From happiness is simply letting go of the burden of suffering. Then we'll talk about the specific happiness that people dream of. First, let's start with small, easy to let suffering. On a tour out to Ha Long Bay, there was a young Viet Kieu. Careless climber, injured big toe, blood spilled a little. Seeing him grimace in pain, many people gathered to ask. Someone used honey to apply to his wound, not forgetting to reassure him. Rest assured, a little bit is gone. But how reassuring. The journey that day, for the young Viet Kieu, seemed to be over, because he was always grimacing miserably. That, definitively must go to the doctor. In the midst of the sympathetic looks of everyone who went hiking that day, there were funny smiles about the scene of the rich man cut off his hand by gutting beggars. Thus, pain and suffering also have different degrees. For example, there are pains that only need a little massage or anointing to go away. Such pain is only a slight pain, not worth calling pain suffering. Similarly, there are sorrows, which only move one's heart for a few minutes, not worth calling sad suffering. So where does the suffering come from? It all depends on the perception of each person. According to psychologists and neurologists, a touch or stimulus on the body will be transported by the peripheral nervous system to the central nervous system, and, perceived by the brain, will receive and process information. Reference to the database in memory and judgment and inference. Creating emotions, worries, insecurities or peace of well-being, leading to corresponding decisions and behaviors. To reduce a patient's pain during treatment, a physiotherapist often helps the patient transfer consciousness through exhalation. Human consciousness is similar to a child who falls, cries because of pain. If someone suddenly shouts a new game, or surprises something, children will immediately forget about falling. As for taking care of the scratches, the child will lie down crying forever. The story we often hear about half a glass of water, some people are satisfied with happiness, enough to quench thirst. But some people are dissatisfied because they think it is too little, not meeting their needs. Thus, pain and suffering inherently come from one's perception, not from external conditions. It can be summed up that consciousness is the secret to eliminating suffering.